Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. Thousands of tourists have docked in Hobart after their cruise ship was barred from New Zealand due to a biosecurity bungle. Some passengers embracing the chance to explore Tasmania, while others were angry at being forced off course from their dream holiday.
Sailing in after a long week at sea. A cloudy morning greeting thousands of passengers who should have been in the land of the long white cloud. Many pleased just to be on shore.
I'm loving coming to Hobart. We wanted to come in February, couldn't make it. So Hobart, here we are.
Groundhog Day, basically. You get a little bit sick of doing the same trivia and whatnot every day.
Denied entry to Kiwi waters, their New Zealand cruise was cut short by a dirty hull. Despite being handed a 50% refund, some lashed out at P&O.
The crew are wonderful. P&O could have done it a lot better.
I'm so angry about it. I just don't even know where to begin. What they've tried to do was just give us a token.
This couple had saved for years and had been celebrating their 40th wedding anniversary. While fans of Tassie, their detour was still heartbreaking.
It's been really hard to try and get our spirits into such a position that we can enjoy anything just yet.
Not all were upset at the late change, many keen to embrace their new destination.
I'm sweet, you know, rather be on holidays than working, so yeah, anywhere's better than nowhere.
Anytime you book a cruise, you're booking and putting yourself in the hands of Mother Nature.
We've got friends here, so they're going to come pick us up.
We've got the brochure, so we'll work out something else to do.
Despite ending up in the state he started in, this Tasmanian was buoyant.
They haven't explained a few things, not so good, but you've got to go with the flow.
Once disembarked, it was time to explore. However, tourist hotspots Kunyani, Mount Wellington and Mona were both closed. Others, though, were flying high, turning a quiet day into a good one.
Tuesday was meant to be my day off. There'd be in excess of 1,000, so yeah, we can generate some business out of it.
The vessel will remain in port until tomorrow, moving on to Port Arthur before returning to Sydney later this week. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Parts of the Brooker Highway were closed off as fire crews battled a house fire in Dent Park this afternoon. Emergency services arriving at the scene just before 1 o'clock following reports of a blaze. It was eventually extinguished but caused extensive damage to the 2-storey property. Investigations into the cause are continuing. The state's property market has been hit with another unwanted blow, with a new report revealing it is cheaper to buy than rent almost half of homes in Tasmania. It raises even more concerns about supply and affordability, adding further pressure to Tasmanian households.
A surprising turn in Tasmania's hot property market.
Just under half of homes remain cheaper to buy than rent, despite sharply higher interest rates this year.
The latest PropTrack report out today revealing home ownership is now the favourable financial option, with Hobart's northwest taking the cake as the region with the highest share of homes cheaper to buy.
I think it's more reflective of how tight rental markets have been over the past year. This is not necessarily a good story.
It's cold comfort for Tasmanians stuck in the rental cycle and wanting a crack at the market.
The challenge is a lot of Tasmanians can't purchase a new home. They can't get a loan to do that, and they're stuck in a situation where they're in limbo.
We are putting out and rolling out an unprecedented level of commitment to housing with record funding and 10,000 homes.
Under the My Homes program, eligible Tasmanians can jointly purchase a house with Homes Tasmania with just a 2% deposit. The Albanese government is pushing for a similar scheme so even more Tasmanians can get their foot on the property ladder.
For lots of first-time buyers who have the income to pay a mortgage but can't save that 20% deposit, I think this is potentially going to make housing a lot more accessible.
Victoria Easto, 7 Tasmania News.
Transport options for major events at the new Macquarie Point Stadium are still a work in progress. A parliamentary committee hearing, it hasn't been decided how bus services will operate, who will be responsible for them, or if there are enough buses in Hobart to satisfy peak demand.
Well, there's different models of doing this for different stadia across the country, and some include, as part of the ticket price, it actually includes funding to provide those bus services.
Modelling predicts up to 1,000 people will cycle to events, but preliminary plans show only 20 to 30 bicycle parking spaces, which is also subject to review. Tasmania's forests are taking centre stage as a range of experts from across the globe descend on Hobart. More than 100 delegates are in town for the inaugural Forest Congress, questioning the dollar value of nature.
The opposing views can come together and refine each other's positions and hopefully together build something good.
The event aiming to establish new social, conservation and economic models for Tasmania and beyond.
Transform their economic systems and the financial infrastructure that supports them from nature negative to nature positive.
The Congress runs for 3 days. And delegates from the Forest Economics Congress are tonight gathering for an event at Government House, hosted by Tasmanian Governor, the Honourable Barbara Baker, who joins me now. Your Excellency, you've opened Government House to welcome around 100 guests to Tasmania. Why is the Forest Economics Congress important to you?
Well, it's important to me, but more importantly, it's very important for Tasmania because our state has had a long history of division in respect of the use of our forests. And this Congress is really important because it's bringing together delegates who have a diverse range of views about the value and use of our forests. So it's a really terrific event for that reason.
Indeed. Now, native Tasmanian eucalypts will be planted in the ground of Government House later tonight. What's the significance of this?
Well, Government House has a long tradition of planting trees to mark significant occasions. So this tree planting ceremony is to mark the work of this Congress and the importance of that work. And secondly, the species selection, Eucalyptus morisbii, was selected with working with the Congress First Nations team, and is the start of conversations which will be ongoing. And thirdly, it's a sustainable green space here, and sustainability is a very important part of our plans for the future here at Government House with a drier, warmer climate. So we're looking forward to planting 3 trees tonight with all members of the Congress that are attending tonight.
Hope it all goes well. Your Excellency, thank you for your time.
Thank
The submissions period for a review into child sexual abuse allegations against a former senior Tasmania police officer has been extended. Senior Sergeant Paul Reynolds died by suicide in 2018 while he was being investigated for a number of offences. Head of the independent review, Regina Weiss, says there's been a significant uptake since the submissions period opened, extending the deadline to December 31. Anyone with information is urged to come forward. An interim report into the review's progress is due early next year. Community anger is simmering in East Devonport as negotiations to keep the area's only GP drag on. Locals collecting signatures to try and force action as the deadline looms.
Good morning, Mr Mart.
Karen Marsain is on a mission.
Getting people to sign this petition to save the East Devonport Doctors Surgery.
Leading the charge in a community fight to keep the doors of East Devonport's only GP clinic open, with 2 months until it's due to merge with a clinic in Devonport.
We really do need this surgery. We really, really need it.
Organising a rally on Sunday and collecting signatures, with the clock ticking before the last remaining doctor moves to the CBD practice.
To take on the 6,000 clients from here at a medical clinic that's already closed its books. It doesn't make sense.
For many of us, the trip across the river to Devonport and back is just a matter of jumping in the car, but for many, particularly older East Devonport residents, it's not nearly that simple.
The public transport network is not good on this side of the river. A lot of elderly people will find it difficult even to find their way from the bus station to the new doctor's practice.
So how's that going to work for them? Quite frankly, I think they just won't come to the doctor.
The state government holding a round table on Thursday to find a solution, the third time it's had to intervene in a clinic closure in as many months.
It's very frustrating that the federal government is not managing Medicare and supporting GP clinics adequately and in a sustainable way.
Nick Kelly, 7 Tasmanian News.
St Helens Furno Restaurant and Hobart-based Tasmanian Wild Seafood Adventures are among 4 local businesses claiming gongs at the National Hospitality Awards last night. Launceston's Cataract on Patterson also among the winners, named Best Marketed Hotel. The Old Wool Store Hotel claiming the Outstanding Community Service and Achievement Award. Tasmania was well represented at the ceremony with 24 businesses nominated. The summer months are just around the corner and bushwalkers are being put on a safety notice. Tasmania Police and the Parks and Wildlife Service are joining forces, urging those taking to our trails to be prepared for all conditions.
We can have 4 seasons in a day, so even a day walking in the sun can quickly turn into the wind and even sometimes snow and hail. So our suggestion is to take with you appropriate clothing.
We'd also encourage walkers to be flexible in their plans, so if they can see the weather conditions are not looking ideal for their walk, to be prepared to not start the walk.
Walkers are reminded to register their trips, inform others of adventure plans and consider any biosecurity risks. Work is about to get underway on a $3.5 million expansion to Oatlands Multi-Purpose Health Centre, adding an 8-bedroom aged care home complete with pharmacy and nurse station. It means older residents can stay in the community.
It's been very sad over the last few years that they've had a lot of our local people have had to move away to Swansea, to Hobart and other places, which is very sad for the whole families.
This is an investment in the local community in rural and regional health services.
Hobart-based Macquarie Builders will handle the project, due to start in January. Local police are getting their final training in, preparing to put pedal power to good use. From Thursday, they'll be cycling 500 kilometres over 3 days around Powattina, Sheffield and Cradle Mountain, raising money for muscular dystrophy and Heart Kids Tasmania on the annual Police Charity Trust bike ride.
Approximately 80 riders this year, around about 30 to 35 of them are police, and the rest are just members from the community who come along, enjoy the ride and, more importantly, raise money for these important organisations.
The ride has raised $800,000 over its 18-year history. They're hoping to add another $100,000 to that tally.
A 5-wicket haul from Lawrence Neil-Smith has left the Tigers in good stead after a rain-hampered first day of their Shield rematch with New South Wales. The Tigers making early headway, reducing the Blues to 3 for 26.
Is up and he's slashing this one straight to mid-off. It was there to be hit. It was a half volley. He'll be disappointed.
Rain delaying play on 2 occasions, frustrating Tasmania's efforts. Moses Enrique's leading a New South Wales fight back with a much-needed half-century. New South Wales are 7 for 178 at stumps.
Good evening. Hobart 16 degrees today, Launceston the highest with 24, Devonport 20 and Burnie 19. Flinders Island reached 21, Smithton, Ouse and Strawn 20, King Island and Friendly Beaches 19 today, Low Head and St Helens 18 and Lyawini a top of 12. We did have a bit of rain overnight, that cleared to a few showers over the east and later over the western tiers today, falling from that low cloud that sat over us. Convective thunderstorm cloud is over the southeast of the country with more over southern Western Australia. Plenty of rain up north. Tomorrow the high drops a little more to our south as the low over South Australia brings significant rain and thunderstorms to New South Wales and Victoria. We'll have southeast to easterly winds again, as strong as 20 to 30 knots over western and northern waters and to 15 knots over the lakes. So a strong wind warning has been posted from southeast Cape the long way round to St Helens Point. Hobart, middle of the week and 17 and a shower or two. Geefston the same and 16 the top for Bothwell. Launceston a high tomorrow of 21, cloudy, partly cloudy for Devonport, 20 the maximum and 19 the top for Cressy. Burnie 19 and partly cloudy, bit of sun over the west again, Strawn 23 and 18 the top for Curry with a bit of wind blowing over King Island. A shower or two for St Helens 18, 16 for Swansea, shower as well for Orford 16 the maximum. Mainly fine on Thursday apart from a shower over the east and Hobart. Showers on Friday more frequent over the north and northeast, more east to southeasterly winds. Isolated showers on Saturday mostly confined to the south and east again. Partly cloudy in Perth and Adelaide, rain in Melbourne and 20 degrees there, storms into the mix for Canberra, Sydney and Brisbane, even stormy over Darwin and Alice Springs. And current conditions cloudy around the state, 14 in Hobart as we welcome all those cruise ship guests unexpectedly in town over the next couple of days. Just reminds me too, Kim, about the new trend in cruise ship travel. They're all installing trampolines. Everyone's jumping on board.
Not bad for a Tuesday. That is all your news and jokes for now. Thanks for your company this evening. Good night.